laps to go. What a race it's been.
Yes, and I think Senna's probably decided that he can't afford a breather, and he hasn't got room for, in terms of time left for cunning tactics. That's Nakajima walking back. Must be very disappointed to have got so far in his home Grand Prix, and having quite a good race, albeit an eventful one. And there is Nigel Mansell, and that, of course, is no surprise, having seen how much smoke was coming out of the back of his car. Big disappointment for him, but today has not been Mansell's day. Today is the day of the McLaren Hondas, who are still locked in combat. Prost with the upper hand at the moment, and it's beginning to look to me as if Senna has only desperation tactics left. Prost, well, they're just a little bit with all that oil around and the high temperatures of the metals around. Ignition can be pretty sudden, so they're wise just to damp it down, as it were.
Patrese and Boutsen have moved up, and it's still, there is the race. Prost and Senna, first and second. Nannini in third position. Patrese is fourth. Boutsen is fifth. The last person not to have been lapped, because Piquet is now in the points in sixth position, but has been lapped. We're riding now with Senna, world champion. Lap 46 out of 53. Prost is in his sights. The world championship chance is in his sights. And it's a 53-lap race. This is lap 46. And Prost has got enormous pressure on him. So in a way as Senna, because Senna knows that if he can't get up with Prost and look for his opportunity to get past, he will not repeat his world championship.
So our car, that's Senna's, as we ride with him, right up on the curve, just sectioning out under the bridge down to the short straight. You'll see Prost is not hurrying into the corners, and that's absolutely the right thing to do when defending a position, because of course hurrying into the corner you can go wide, but he can't overtake on the way in. And then lining the car up to make sure to get the power on early and right, and that leaves your opponent with very little he can do. Back to Mansell, out of the race, but really, we would like to see this epic battle that goes on. And that's as close as Senna has been at any stage at this point on the circuit. As he came before the pits, and there you see what happens to these cars. Their acceleration is so great that the leader will always get the power on first. You see just how quickly, being maybe a tenth of a second earlier on the power, what a big difference that makes as the cars exit the corner. Prost still defending, and Ayrton Senna is the man now upon whom the onus rests. Has he got something up his sleeve, or will he try? It looks to me as if he has no obvious answer. Will he try something desperate? He showed himself capable of doing that. Prost is making sure that Senna will have to do something like that, because he is, as I say, going slowly into the corners, getting early on the power, and an anxious McLaren team there, and Senna again closer than ever before.
This is Alain Prost, 150th Grand Prix, so he has had experience of just about every situation, including this one. The situation of being in the lead with the second place man treading on his rear wheels almost, and having to resist that pressure, keep his racing line, not go wide, not leave an opportunity and a door open through which Senna would be like a flash. Now, there are very few cars left on the circuit. There's 14 running now out of the 26 who started. And if Prost comes up to any of them, this is the opportunity that Senna's looking for. And he's going through. Ouch! Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. They meet. This is what we were fearing might happen during the race. And that means to say that Prost has won the World Championship. Alain Prost, World Champion of 1989.
Well, and just look at this, because Ayrton Senna, who can get going again, but he's been pushed, that's outside assistance. And I'm afraid to say that that is all over for Ayrton Senna, and it was his own fault because of the slow corner. He wasn't past Prost, and he went into a gap, and Prost had every right to turn into him there. And I'm afraid that was self-inflicted. Senna has got going again. He's back on the track. But he will, for sure, be disqualified for receiving a push start there.
Well, that is contentious. The rule says that you can be pushed if you are judged to be in a dangerous position. So it could well come down to a steward's decision of some kind, but look at the problems that Senna is going to have with car handling. And now, of course, Alessandro Nannini is very much in the running, and it could be that we're going to see the Benetton Ford winning and a Benetton winning, and Senna is still leading. Senna with this twisted nose cone and very dodgy handling, and it's coming to pieces. He's going to have to come into the pits to have it replaced. He goes off. He's lost downforce, of course, and that dramatically affects adversely the handling of the car. No wings on either side. And we are on lap 48 in this 53-lap Japanese Grand Prix with Alain Prost walking in. Heaven knows what's going through his mind as Ayrton Senna tried to take it.
Well, I tell you what's going through my mind. What a tragic way to finish such a thrilling race. And it really was tragic that Senna should self-inflict such an injury, because he just asked for Prost to take his line and drive into him. And it was, as we suggested, an act of desperation on Senna's part, and it didn't look as if he needed that, so in fairness to him, maybe that was his only way. Now, will Senna come in to change that nose, or will he try and stay out? He is still leading the race, remember, but of course, he really should be disqualified. So he's pushed up, and he goes into the pit, so they're going to try putting a new nose on the car, maybe. He's in the pit road, and here is Nannini, who will take over the lead of the race.
Yes, indeed he will, and the question then will be, can Ayrton Senna, with this new nose cone, depending on what the position is, either regain the lead or retain the lead? Well, we're watching now for Nannini. Nannini is in the lead! Alessandro Nannini leads the Japanese Grand Prix as Ayrton Senna leaves the pit lane. And my guess is, and it's very much a guess, that Senna, in the mood that he's in now, on lap 48, will catch and pass lap 49. Can catch and pass Nannini, and then win the World Championship if he wins in Australia. Well, this really is a dramatic ending to the Japanese Grand Prix. Alain Prost out, it doesn't affect his chance. Here's a replay, now let's look. Senna comes up to try and go through on the inside. Prost moves across, takes them both out.
Yes, well, Senna went for a gap that wasn't there. You could see quite clearly that Prost was already turning into the corner. And Senna put himself in an absolutely impossible situation. But he was lucky because at least he was able to get back into the race with the help of the marshals.